Like Milnarik, happy 2025. It's been a very long minute since I did a video last, and I gotta say that the reason I'm doing a video, why am I back? Why am I doing a video? It's because of you. When I say you, um, there are there's several people that have been giving me feedback that have brought up the topic of my videos, and have given me such kind words about how it either affected them or how great they think they are, or something super positive about my videos that they actually liked about it. And I'm blown away by it. And right off the top of my head, there's people that have commented that I don't have all the comments in front of me, of course. Some people have screen names that I don't even know who they are. But starting with most recently, and I'm going to kind of go backwards just to name some first names on some people, and they'll all know who they are. And I want you to know that I appreciate you all. And anyone that I don't mention, please know that I haven't forgotten you. And it's just, I'm just talking about the most recent ones right now, but I just really want people to know that, I appreciate your kind words so much, and it's just been incredible to hear this feedback that I've been getting, and it just made me feel like I need to do this again. So, or I should be doing this. I should continue doing it. So, just some names, some thank yous. Kirsten, April, Walt, Sanai, Jill, Chris, another Chris, both Chris's. Wow. Thank you. Thank you very much. From the bottom of my heart, I appreciate every single last word you guys have said and all the feedback you've given me. It's been a learning experience. I just went through and I recorded an entire video. I was pretty happy with it, and then it didn't work. It's been such a minute since I did a video that actually I forgot what I was recording on. I had problems with one piece of software at one point. Photo Booth on Mac is where I started. So you just got to start someplace. That goes for everything in life. And then I had a video a while back that it got done. I hit stop, and then the video showed up as 0 minutes and 0 seconds, and there was no video. It was corrupt. I don't even, my content was corrupt, just so you know. That the video file was corrupt. So, so I just realized that, and I was going to do it again, and I'm going like, how do I know I'm not going to waste my time making a video that doesn't end up being a video? And then all of a sudden it dawned on me that I switched to QuickTime for that specific reason, and that's where I was making my videos, and so now I'm there, so I think I should be good. So I think this will work this time. So, talk about trying to be motivated to do it again. I mean, you get done, you're happy with it, and you're like, yeah, cool, I made a video, and I think it's pretty good. I think it's okay anyway. And then it's gone. And then you're like, I gotta start over from the beginning. It's kind of like losing at a video game. You got to start all the way over at the beginning. But at least the second time, and the third time, and the fourth time, and the fifth time, you start getting better at it because you know some of the pitfalls along the way. You know a little more about what you're going to do along the way. And so I guess, hopefully this will even be better than the last one I just made minutes ago. So, very importantly, don't pay attention to the zit on my head. I feel like I'm becoming a teenage boy again. I had to fire my makeup person because they were pilfering Christmas chocolate from me. So they're gone now, and I don't know how to cover it up myself. And so I, warts or zits and all, here I am. So today's topic, what I want to talk about. Well, first of all, I want to talk about, you got to start someplace. Okay? Whatever it is, you got to start someplace. And you have to find people that are good at what you want to do. Does that mean you have to know them personally? No. Yeah, it's good if you do. I mean, that's actually maybe even better. But you don't have to. What I tell students is it's nice to have friendly competition. Now, what do I mean by friendly competition? When I was in high school, I was very competitive musically. And I see my students over the years have been like that as well, where they are adamant about beating so-and-so. That's the person to beat. That was my exact attitude in high school. That's the person to beat. I remember going to an audition once, and the person to beat that beat me the year before auditioned right before me. He came out of the audition, and I talked to him briefly, and he said it was one of the worst auditions he had in his life. And I got excited and overconfident, went into the audition. It was the only time I had to do an audition. A second time I had asked if I could have a redo, which in Pennsylvania you could have one redo, and they just ignored the first time. And at that time anyway, maybe they've changed things. And I didn't play as well because I was so focused on, I thought I beat him this time. I got my head all messed up about it. In other words, I wasn't thinking clearly. And then guess what happened? He beat me again. He was first, I was second. So it's one of those things where it's just, I try to teach my students that what you have to do is you have to focus on yourself, and you have to be the best that you can be at what it is you're trying to do. You can see all these different people that are doing the thing that you might want to do, but they have all kinds of different life experience. They do things, they may have had certain advantages that you don't have. They may have had experiences, or they may have been doing, experience in the sense of doing it longer than you have. There's all kinds of factors that go into it that, guess what, you can't control. So what you need to do is you need to focus on yourself and getting to be the best that you possibly can be. So you figure out what that big picture is, what that goal is going to be, and then your mind is going to start figuring out the small steps along the way in order to reach that goal. That's really, really important. And you have to go through those steps of getting from point A to point B. You have to figure out, when you have all those little steps between point A and point B, I'm at step 1. Is this good enough to get to step 2 yet? Then when you're on step 2, am I at the level to get to step 3 yet? You can't just say you are something and you're not. You have to actually work at it, and you have to work your way up. So I think that, one of the things that is really important, I think, is when you focus on yourself and you focus at becoming the best you possibly can be at something, you're going to do it at your own pace, and you're going to learn more along the way, and you're going to reach your potential. Sometimes some people have more potential at certain things than other people. You can't always stack yourself up against somebody else, because you're going to get discouraged sometimes. One of the things when I say about friendly competition, what I mean by that is I tell students, so this is for anybody, not just musicians, but since I'm a musician, I can use this as an example. I tell my tuba students all the time, listen to other tuba players. Doesn't matter what level they're at. They could be much better than you. They can maybe not be quite at the level you are. They could be pretty similar to you. But listen to other tuba players. So why? Well, I listen to other tuba players, and it's in a very friendly way. In my head, I'm being somewhat competitive, friendly competition in my head. But this isn't something you're going to talk about to other people. This isn't something that you're going to post on social media. You're not going to do any of that stuff. You're actually just assessing things. It's pretty much black and white. So what happens? I listen to somebody that plays a lot better than me, right? And I hear them do something that makes me think like, wow, they're much better at that than I am. So what's the next thing that should happen? Well, some people think they get discouraged. and you give up. I went to a concert one time to see the Empire Brass and hear Sam Palafian play, and I had a friend of mine that was with me, and I said, we were talking about at intermission like how great Sam sounded and everything, and my friend said to me, he was like, yeah, he's so amazing, doesn't he make you just want to quit? And I said, no, it makes me want to run into a practice room. I want to get better. So that's the thing, is that you have to listen to other people to find out what they're doing that you can't do. So they're pointing out a roadmap to you that these are the things you need to work on, and then you need to work on those things to get better at it. You got to put the time in. So that goes for anything. It's not just with music. If you're listening to somebody that you personally think somebody else is not as good as you are, could be the case. Could be the case. Again, this is all happening in your head. This isn't verbalized. I'm talking about it out loud because this is a process you should think about, is that you listen to this person. You may not think they're as good as you, but a lot of times what will happen is people won't listen to them because they don't think they're as good as they are. Or outside of music, they don't pay attention to that person because they don't think they're as good as they are. And they may be right, but there may be one thing that they are better at than you, that you didn't think about, and you see or hear them doing that thing, and then you go, I got to do that. I got to work on that. I got to get better at it. So it's really, really important to pay attention to those that are doing what we are doing to get us excited. If you can get a mentor, if you can get somebody that is doing what you're doing, that can support you in the sense that they excite you with what they do. If there's somebody that's in your life and they can mentor you, that's even better. They can kind of help you get the steps along the way. But there's so many resources nowadays, and especially with YouTube and everything, there's tons of YouTube videos that you can watch to kind of get an idea of like, these are the people that I want to be more like. For instance, when I was an undergrad, I was looking at grad schools. There were 3 schools that I was considering or I applied to, I should say. And there was one that I was really focused on was Sam Palafian at Boston University. And the main reason for that was because I wanted to be in a brass quintet. I wanted to do it at the highest level, and Empire Brass was arguably the best brass quintet in the world. They definitely set a standard. And there's lots of other great brass quintets out there, so I'm not slighting anybody when I make that comment. They were just heads and tails that good. And Sam knew the business end of things, and I felt that Sam would help me have the best chance of success on the other side of it, because I not only would learn how to play the tuba really well, and I'm still working at that all the time. It's always a struggle. I mean, every musician will tell you, anybody that actually cares about getting better, they're always working at it. It's always a process. It doesn't end. It doesn't, like, you get to be a certain age and you put on an automatic pilot. That doesn't happen. It's like an athlete, but only athletes retire a lot earlier than musicians do. So it's like, I knew that I would have potential to be a better tuba player by studying with Sam, and I also knew I would have potential of being more successful as a musician in the music world by studying with Sam, because I get business skills as well. So I went and studied with him. These are the kind of things you need to think about. So you have to have you got to have a goal in mind. You have to know what you want to do. B, you've got to figure out ways of, how do I find what my roadmap is? How can I get from point A to point B? What are the steps that I need to take to get there? That's really important. And you learn that stuff by seeing people doing what you're doing and figuring out what it is that they're doing. And then you got to figure out how they're doing it, because sometimes it's not that simple. You can see that they do something. You can see that they're successful at something, but you have to figure out, like, well, how did they get successful at that? What did they do? Did they go to school for it? Did they study with somebody? Do they have a mentor that's giving them the steps and telling them how to get there? You have to figure those things out so that you can go through the steps. And then the third one is equally as important as the rest. You have to have a support system. The support system are people that are around you that encourage you to do better, that encourage you to keep striving for your goals, that see that you care about what you're doing, and they want to help push you to get to that next point. They encourage you by encouraging you. They want to have you become more excited about what you do. Lots of people that don't have the experience and have not done what you're trying to do will unfortunately try to tear you down. They'll try to tell you that, you're doing it the wrong way. You shouldn't do this. It's a waste of time. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes there is practical advice you could get from people that they'll tell you, like, this isn't going to work out. You're beating a dead horse. And sometimes you got to call it quits. However, when you yourself have experience at something and you know what you've done in the past to get there, and now there's some adjustments that you may have to do, then you know that you can do it or not. So you build confidence by doing things. When you do things and you're successful at them and you see the progress that's happening, that's going to give you more confidence in yourself. And it actually was going to help provide more motivation to do more. But if the people that are giving you advice have never walked the path that you're trying to walk and really don't know what it is that you need to do to get to where you are, or where you want to go, I should say, some of them don't support you. They don't support your goals and dreams. So you have to find, and it can be an individual, it can be a group, it can be feedback from different things, whatever it is, but getting support to show you that you are making a difference, or you are, they know your personality. They know that you have it in you to do what you want to do and that you will accomplish your goals because they know that you've accomplished a lot of goals in the past. And so they figure that if you're working at it and you have that drive like you always did, I know you're going to get there. And that's something that's really important to kind of keep in mind, that you got to do that. And I got to say, that brings this video full circle, because we all have insecurity. We all actually have a lack of confidence at times. No matter how brash someone comes off, they have their own insecurity. Sometimes the more brash somebody is, the more insecure they are. And so it's really important to kind of just keep that in mind, that it's just like, we all have our doubts in ourself. We all have our insecurities. And we need to make sure that our focus is on trying to figure out how to overcome those insecurities. And doing little steps that you see success in, you see improvement, you see the success. I always tell young students this, all of us hated to practice at one point. But when you start seeing progress, you start seeing that you're practicing and it's paying off and you're getting better, we get excited about practicing because we want to keep getting that rush from practicing. So it's the same thing with anything else, that you just want to keep seeing forward progress and see things going in the right direction, not have people tear you down. So like I said, this takes this video full circle, because I really wasn't sure what, I put videos out there and I knew that it would probably resonate with somebody. Making content is it's time consuming, as people know that do it. And so it's very easy to say, like, yeah, I got to make more content. Yeah, I'll get to it, and that's been me. I will admit it. I'll admit it. I came out of the gate really excited. And I thought I was going to make all this content, and I was like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do the other thing. And then there's the part of me that starts doubting myself, like, why does anybody want to hear from me? What do I have to offer? But then I've gotten some people that are important to me that are giving me feedback without even asking for it. And they have all these amazing things to say to me about it. And I'm just like blown away by it. And today, I've been like, thinking about this since the last bit of feedback that I got, I've been like, I really got to do another video. I got to do another video. And then I keep putting it off. And then I'm just like, I don't want to do it yet. And then you make all kinds of excuses. I mean, I make excuses like, I don't like when my hair grows in too much on the sides. I want to shave my head before I get online. I know it's stupid. I know. I got the zit here. Remember I told you about the zit? My makeup person's not here anymore because I fired them. So it's like, I'll make up an excuse of like, why am I can't do a video yet. I haven't shaved my head. I have to do all this prep, and then I got that zit, and I got, I don't want to be on video. What's your excuse? Those are mine. They're silly. They're dumb. I could put a hat on. Actually, I thought about doing that before I shaved my head today. I was just like, I'll put a hat on instead. And I should have done that, but I lost my hat. The hat I wanted to wear, I can't find now. I can't find it. I don't know what I did with it. I lost it on a trip I was on, I think, and I hope I can find it again. I like that hat. It was a baseball type hat, not a baseball hat, but a baseball cap, kind of a cap that I wore backwards. And I like that. I miss it. I gotta find it. Anyway, so what's your excuse? Don't make excuses. Just start doing it. And every time I make a video, I am not kidding when I say this. I'm listening to my own advice. If for nobody else, this video is for me. It's for me to listen to myself and go, didn't you just tell yourself to do that? Didn't you just tell others to do X, Y, and Z? Why are you not doing X, Y, and Z, Mike? Why? Why is it? Because of the zit? The screen's backwards, so I always point to the other side first. Because of the zit? Or is it because you didn't shave your head? Or because you're just lazy? Or what's the deal? So anyway, that's a scoop. I hope you watched it to the end. And it was a long video again. I have to gift a gab, but I hope that you get something out of this. I hope it's at least entertaining. And I hope that you stick around, and I hope you will like and subscribe to my videos on YouTube, because it really means a lot to me personally. It really means a lot, but also it helps push. YouTube will push it out to more people, the more people that like and subscribe and watch my videos. So I would even suggest and go as far as saying that if you don't watch the whole video, if you just let it run, because the more time that people watch it, the more people that they will push it out to, and then the more people that can benefit from it. So even if you don't watch it, but you start it and just let it go, that's watch time, and that will actually get out there, and then you're actually helping other people if there's a message that I can somehow get through to them. So I really appreciate everything. I so appreciate that feedback. I think that the time coming up shortly here, in my opinion, is going to be a very tumultuous time for everybody, not just select groups. And I think that having some positivity in our lives, and focusing on some more positivity, and getting some motivation to keep focused on what is important to us, I think is going to be really important now more than even ever. So just hang in there, figure out what means a lot to you, and go for it. All right? All right. Thank you.